If you wake up tired every single day, even after sleeping, this is not normal, and it's not something you should ignore. I'm not talking about being a little tired. I'm talking about that deep exhaustion that coffee doesn't fix, that rest doesn't solve, and that follows you from the moment you open your eyes until the end of the day. You wake up already drained. You push yourself through your responsibilities. You function, but you don't feel well. And by the afternoon, your energy is completely gone, both mentally and physically. Have you noticed this getting worse over time? Do you remember when you last felt truly rested? Maybe you've been told that this is normal, that it's stress, that it's your age, that it's your lifestyle, or that it's just part of being an adult. Maybe you've even had blood tests done, and you were told that everything looks fine. But here is something very important you need to understand. Feeling exhausted all the time is not normal, and it is not something you should simply accept. Many women live like this for years. They normalize exhaustion. They assume that life is supposed to feel heavy. They believe that feeling tired all the time is just the price they have to pay for working, taking care of others, and holding everything together. And slowly, without even noticing, they start blaming themselves. They think they're lazy. They think they're unmotivated. They think they should be able to handle more. They think everyone else is coping better than they are. But constant fatigue is not a personality problem. It's not a lack of discipline. And it's not a character flaw. Your body is trying to communicate with you. Fatigue is one of the earliest and most common signals your body sends when something is out of balance, especially in women. And very often, that imbalance is hormonal. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way that sends you to the emergency room, not in a way that immediately shows up as clearly abnormal on standard lab tests, but in subtle, progressive changes that slowly drain your energy day after day, month after month, year after year. You may still be functioning. You may still be doing what needs to be done, but inside, you feel like you're running on empty. And the most confusing part is that you can't clearly explain why. You sleep, but you don't feel rested. You eat, but you don't feel energized. You try to slow down, but it doesn't really help. This kind of exhaustion doesn't appear overnight. It builds quietly. It creeps in slowly, until one day, you realize that feeling tired has become your normal state. If this feels familiar, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not imagining it. There is a reason your body feels this way, and understanding that reason is the first step toward changing it. Hormones play a much bigger role in your energy than most people realize. They don't just affect reproduction or mood. They regulate how your body responds to stress, how deeply you sleep, how stable your emotions feel, and how efficiently your cells produce energy every single day. When your hormones are in balance, your body knows when to activate and when to rest. You wake up with a sense of clarity. You have natural energy throughout the day. And when it's time to sleep, your body can actually recover. But when certain hormones begin to shift, even slightly, that balance is lost. Cortisol, progesterone, estrogen, and thyroid-related hormones all influence how energized or depleted you feel. And these changes don't have to be extreme to affect you. In many women, the imbalance is subtle, gradual, and easy to miss. That's why so many women feel exhausted even though they are doing everything right. You might be sleeping enough hours, but the quality of your sleep is poor. You might be eating well, but your body isn't using that energy efficiently. You might be managing stress as best as you can, but your nervous system never fully switches off. This is what hormonal fatigue often looks like. It doesn't arrive suddenly. It builds slowly. First, you feel tired in the afternoons. Then, you need caffeine just to get through the day. Then rest stops feeling restorative. Over time, exhaustion becomes your baseline. And when you finally ask for help, you're often told that your results are normal. The problem is that standard lab ranges are designed to detect disease, not to measure optimal function. A hormone level can fall within a normal range and still be far from ideal for your body. Your body doesn't operate on reference ranges. It operates on balance. Even small hormonal shifts, when sustained over time, can significantly affect how you feel, especially your energy, your focus, and your resilience to stress. That's why hormonal fatigue can feel so confusing. There's no single symptom. There's no clear explanation. Just a constant sense that something isn't right. And yet, it is very real. Understanding this is important because it means your exhaustion has a cause. And when there is a cause, there is also a path forward. The most important thing to understand is this. Your exhaustion is not imaginary, and it's not something you have to live with forever. Your body is not broken. It is responding to signals. It is adapting to internal imbalances the best way it can. And fatigue is one of the ways it asks you to pay attention. When you start to understand how your hormones affect your energy, many things suddenly make sense. The brain fog, the lack of motivation, the emotional ups and downs, the feeling that you're constantly running on empty, even when life looks fine from the outside. This awareness is powerful because it shifts the conversation away from blame. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You're not failing at life. Your body is asking for balance. The first step is not fixing anything. It's listening. It's noticing patterns. It's recognizing that feeling exhausted all the time is not something you should normalize or push through. Fatigue is often the first sign that your body is struggling to keep up, long before more obvious symptoms appear, long before burnout forces you to stop. That's why paying attention now matters. In the next videos, we'll explore how different hormonal patterns affect energy, why fatigue often appears before other symptoms, and how your body gives you warning signs long before things feel overwhelming. This channel is not about quick fixes or dramatic claims. It's about understanding your body better, so you can make informed decisions instead of guessing or ignoring what you feel. If this message resonates with you, it's because your experience is real. And there is a reason you feel this way. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to blame yourself. You need clarity. And that's exactly what we'll build here, one step at a time.